One of Rugby League's great journalists and journeymen joins us now. Steve Mascord, welcome to NRL 360.
We haven't got a name for the segment. Thanks for inviting me in, guys.
No, look, it's a pleasure to have you here.
The only person excited about this segment, I think, is you, Ben. I watched last night.
We have zero expectations, so what I'm going to say now
so you can't let us down.
Is drag us...
I was going to call it White Line Fever, but then the Gold Coast Titans ruined that, so what about far and wide? What about far and wide?
Drag us into the vortex that is your world.
Well, there is someone else excited aside from you, and that's Kevin Locke, the former New Zealand Warriors and current Salford fullback, and we got some footage of him when just after I told him that I was going to be on NRL 360. That is, he was in Barcelona at the time, and that was on his day off. And that's the thing that's the attraction of playing in Super League. You can actually go to Barcelona on your day off. Yeah, and people said, you know, he should be in trouble, but he wasn't doing anything wrong there. But what did happen?
Partying with the Gold Coast players?
No, he wasn't. But the owner of the team, Mo and Kukash, he complained. He said he needs to lose weight. Now, Kevin still looks better with his shirt off than I do. But
no, I don't dispute that.
That's fair enough, wasn't it? Do you think he did anything wrong there?
Yeah, but Mo and Kukash hasn't seen you with your shirt off, has he?
No, and not very many people have. Okay. Which is now the other thing. The next thing I was going to show you was Fui Moi Moi's post-try celebration. But guess what? You showed it last night.
He did.
Last night, yeah.
You showed it last night. So I'm going to punish you now, and I'm going to show you what Luke Dawn looked like after a Super League game last week.
Okay.
It was Castleford versus Salford.
Yep.
And he's actually saying this is a great advertisement for mouth guards because he didn't lose any teeth.
Oh. Well, he did actually. You can see a tooth in the top right-hand picture there. You can see the tooth sitting in the.
So he lied. He lied on Twitter because he said, "I have all my."
Oh, there's the
still.
other split sausage.
Yeah, well, that's I think Andrew Johns. I was on the sideline with Andrew Johns. He said it was like a sausage being put on the barbecue. James Seguiaro the other night. So not very pleasant.
So how many stitches for Luke Dawn again? Do you know?
Oh no, I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure.
That's a big job because I think James.
But he's only going to miss. He's only going to miss 1 week.
He took his mouth guard out and the tooth was still in it.
Now we'll be serious for a second because I want to appreciate you guys a couple of weeks ago mentioning that David Collier is the new CEO of the Rugby League International Federation. And what is now he had a press conference that night and he was very diplomatic. Everything he said was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm not going to tell the leagues what to do. I'm not going to bully the clubs. But right at the end of the press conference, I asked him, what about international eligibility? And everyone loves to argue about international eligibility. And suddenly he got all bullish because he's been in the Olympics and he's been in hockey, he's been in cricket, and he had this to say.
I think one of the things that we have to be very cognizant of with international regulations is that families are far more transient around the world now. And quite often, people come from mixed nationality base, a mother of one nationality and a father of another. So it is more complex.
Here's what I think we should do with international eligibility. If you are a state of origin player and you qualify for another country, you miss out on being picked by Australia, you shouldn't have to change your eligibility to represent that country.
No, serious.
But I also don't think Semi Radradra should be playing for New South Wales. I don't care about the rugby union clause. We're going to have standalone origins soon. I know Kenty's problem with standalone origins is that we have no club games on the weekend. We can't compete with other sports. So what we're going to put around those standalone origins is internationals. Now, if New South Wales and Queensland steal all the players from the Pacific, and if they, then who's going to play in those internationals? No one's going to want to show them. So
who's going to watch it? No one.
Well, I think they will watch it. I mean,
you'll watch it because that's your thing. Like. We argued about this 20 years ago.
But we are here in the Fox studios, and Fox show the games, Kenty, and this year it's a double header. And if we have more NRL players, we talked about this in the green room, Ben. Origin is not an all-star game for the NRL. Origin is New South Wales versus Queensland.
That's right.
So the less relevant Origin gets, the better rugby league's going, because it means we've spread our wings.
And it's at some point the value of Origin will erode simply because if you've got a team in Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, playing in the NRL, and the eligibility precludes the young juniors that have come through and played in the top grade for those teams from playing Origin. And the great players, let's say the next Billy Slater, Cameron Smith and Cooper Cronk are all born and raised in Melbourne. There's a couple of those in Perth and Adelaide, and they're excluded, along with all the international players from overseas playing in the NRL. Then State of Origin is as great as it is and as tribal as it will remain, will no longer be the best of the best.
And here's the current little eligibility thing. We'll get your opinion on this. Adam Cuthbertson for England. He's been we'll talk about him in a second as far as how he's been going for Leeds, but he's got an English father and there's a lot of support for him playing for England. Here's what he had to say after the Super League game the other night on Sky.
I haven't said anything too much about it. I'm just trying to play as best as I can for Leeds, and you know, at the end of the day, whatever comes with it, comes with it. So I'm just really playing enjoying my footy now, and I'm passionate about it, and I'd love to have a call-up, but, you know, at the end of the day, I can only control what I can do out here, and then the rest just comes, I suppose.
He's got a few birds-eye to compete with, hasn't he, as far as getting in the England team. We're at Monday Night Football.
He sounds English.
I was going to say, did I pick up a little... I'm serious.
It sounds like he had a cold.
I was just trying to put a bit of an accent on.
It didn't sound
I know
northern,
you were
it
having
sounded
a
a
go.
bit Midlands.
I picked something up there.
You know, we're at Monday Night Football, and Steve McNamara was there, and the coach of England, and we had the great opportunity to ask Steve McNamara, is Adam Cuthbertson a chance of playing for England? But instead, I spoke to this bloke. Andrew, you got a big announcement to make?
Yes, Steve, that's right. I'm pleased to announce that the Thailand Stars will be touring Japan next month to play against the Japan national team.
So just the one game?
Just the one game, and it's good because Japan don't see much rugby league, and all the boys are pretty excited about going to Japan.
What are the dates?
April 29's kick-off. It's on a Japan national holiday, and they're expecting a big crowd.
Now, April 29 is when I'm due back in here again, so if I drop an F-bomb now, I'll actually be able to go to that game.
You're going to be mean.
So when do they play the Nepal Donkeys, these blokes?
Well, actually, no, I've got something more ridiculous for you. That is not the only Thai team. There is a rebel Thai team.
A Super League version.
Yeah, there is. And they're playing Japan, and during the Super League war, there was Super League Japan and the East Japan Rugby League, and there was no rugby league played in Japan. So the other Thai team, which is more grassroots, the guys in that team a lot of them are based in Australia. They're playing the Philippines on, I think, October 18 in Bangkok. So we've got two Italian teams at the moment. We've got two Thai teams, and I'd suggest that David Collier, it might be one of his first jobs is to sort that out.
This is a better soap opera than the NRL. Let's get to the English Super League. Give me your who's hot, who's not.
Well, we've already mentioned it was really easy for me to say Adam Cuthbertson, but he is absolutely on fire in the first 6 weeks. Got to say, Leeds are a great team to watch. We all thought Adam Cuthbertson he's basically had his passing game coached out of him in the NRL over all these years. And when you go to England, it's encouraged, and they absolutely love him over there. So Adam Cuthbertson has had a great first 6 weeks for Leeds, and Leeds are just wonderful to watch, guys. I mean, really, the way they put the passes together. I was looking at there was a stat, the number of passes in a Super League game, and it's up around 260. And just before I came on, we just checked with the producer how many passes in an NRL game. I think the most of any team is 230. So I thought there would have been a much bigger difference because obviously they use the ball a lot more in England. I'd like to see the number of passes in a scoring movement, a comparison between Super League and the NRL.
Who have you gone cold on over there?
I'm rabbiting on, aren't I? I've gone cold on, fate has gone cold on Sean Wayne, the coach of Wigan. He's a lovely fella. He always gives you an honest answer. He'll never tell a lie, and he just looks absolutely miserable at the moment. A great, famous club like Wigan, having won only 2 games so far.
Out of how many?
Out of 6. You're testing me, aren't you?
Well, I'm just looking for
they won 2 out of 6 and they're running 7. So, and you know, you imagine the pressure on a club like Wigan to be successful, and they're really struggling at the moment.
Who's your train spotter of the month? I love the sound of this segment.
Okay, this is amazing, Benny, and I've told you both. You're both on my White Line Fever podcast.
Yes.
RL Internet Radio. It's 24-hour rugby league radio. Just a young fella in England has put it together. It's an incredible effort. 24-hour rugby league radio.
From his bedroom.
No, he's not talking for 24 hours. He's not the same guy. He's got podcasts.
24 hours.
So what he does, he puts all the podcasts on a loop, and actually, and you can donate, and it goes to charity. He's got there's a charity that it goes to.
You know what he's thinking? He's thinking there's a second job for me there. That's what's going through his head right
I'm not
now.
sure how well they pay.
Now, you can catch all the Super League action on Fox, round 7, and we're getting great numbers for the Super League game. Salford versus Widnes.
Going to see Camper.
Hull, St Helens, Catalans versus Leeds, and Fox Sports Live. HD, it's all happening. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for asking me in.
Yeah.
It's on once a month, but they told me if I stuffed up, it was once a year.
Yeah.
So,
We're thinking once a week
back
soon.
next month.